Hey y'all, it's a Happy Hobo, and I want to do something a little different today. I wanted to give you a little bit of long format and a personal story about when I first started training, and I was a new driver years ago. I started out and with signing a contract with one of these big box companies. I don't want to name the name of the company for obvious reasons, but anyways, they took me in. I didn't have no experience, and I went out with my trainer, and I was sitting at the terminal waiting on my trainer, and I sat there for hours. Finally, this guy shows up, and never met him before. They just placed me with him, and I go over, and man, he opens the door, and all this trash and stuff just falls out of his truck, and so that should have been my first clue. So I had my sleeping stuff and my bag of clothes, and and then I'm helping this guy take his trash out of his truck. So I had to play. I mean, he had it on the seats, he had it in the floorboard, and his trash was overflowing. So I helped him pick up the trash so I could get in the truck and put my stuff up on the top bunk and stuff. And we sat around, got our first load. Nothing too much exciting, just trying to get to know each other. Because I was going to be spending the next 3 weeks with this guy, before they let you have a truck to go out on your own. So we went up to Pennsylvania, and we started taking some loads of cardboard, and then we took some Campbell's soup loads, and we ran that first week, and this guy, just to kind of paint a picture, I mean, you heard about the truck, and the guy had an odor. I mean, he had a real odor, like he did not bathe. And we were running solos at that point, not running teams. So we would go and pick up, and then we would go to a truck stop, and when we'd stop, I'd go in and take a shower, and this guy didn't take a shower all week. Finally at the end of the week, of working, I knew him well enough. I didn't want to say something in the beginning because I was trying to be nice, and I wanted the job, but hindsight's 2020. I probably should have said something when the trash was falling out of his truck. But anyways, finally I told him, I said, man, you're going to have to take a shower. The odor is very thick. I tried to put it as nicely as I can. I said, you're going to have to take a shower. So he went inside into the pilot, and took a shower, and come back out, and he still had his old dirty stinky clothes on. Didn't do no laundry or nothing. So that was it was kind of uneventful up until that point. And then we ended up taking another load back up to Pennsylvania, and we got stuck over the weekend with no load. So we were sitting at it's kind of like an annex terminal. It wasn't a truck stop. It was just a kind of a drop lot for where the company dropped trailers, and you picked up empties and stuff like that. So we were sitting there. It was like Saturday evening and over through Sunday, and there was like a store across the street for us, like a convenience store, and I was sleeping on the top bunk, and of course he was sleeping on the bottom in his bunk, and I, it was getting late at night. I was trying to get some sleep because we had, this was Sunday, and we had a load to pick up Monday morning, and so I was trying to get some sleep, and all of a sudden I start hearing out of his phone moaning and groaning, and like it was triple X porn coming out of his phone, and the truck started shaking, and I started hearing, and I just lost it. I lost it. The dude was underneath the bunk, underneath me, watching porn on his phone, jerking off. And I said, "What the hell are you doing down there?" And oh man, and of course he stopped. I said, "Look, I'm trying to get some sleep. You know, you can't be doing that." I didn't know what to say. I was flabbergasted that he actually was doing that with me in the top bunk. So the next morning we picked up some cardboard and had to bring it back down to Tennessee. And when we got down to Tennessee, there's another terminal down there in Tennessee, and I went in and I talked to one of the fleet managers, and I told him that I needed a new driver or a new trainer. You know, at that point, I told him what was going on, and that there was that the truck would stay trash. He had urine bottles in his bed. He'd store up little Gatorade bottles that he filled up with urine. Instead of throwing them out, he would stack them up in his bunk. So they asked me to go to the main terminal, and they would swap me out with the driver. So they found us a load that went to the main terminal, and they had one of the main guys come out and check the truck, and they ended up getting me a new trainer for the last week. But I'll never forget that. I don't know if any of you ever had any kind of experience like that. Now, there was some other stuff that went on in between, just gross stuff, just usual farting and, just nasty filth. But I was so new that I didn't want to say anything, because I wanted to make sure I was able to get the job, and I needed a job at the time. And just like anybody new to trucking, they want to make sure that they get that job. But, I guess my advice to any of the new drivers, if you get into a situation, anything like that, where you don't get along with the trainer, or, you guys don't mesh right, like, you like to take a shower and he doesn't, or, you like to keep a clean bunk and he doesn't, stuff like that. Go ahead and speak up, because these companies, they're paying him your wages that you would be making while he's training you. So he's getting his wages and your wages to run that. So he's getting a lot of money, off of your labor for those 3 weeks. And if somebody's not a good trainer, they don't deserve your labor. They don't deserve your money. I mean, if you're a pig pen too, I guess that doesn't matter. I mean, if you like the guy and you don't care about the messy truck, as long as he's training you good, fine, whatever. But my advice is, if you have any problems, don't be afraid to speak up. Tell your fleet manager or whoever's in charge of you that you're not getting good training, that you need a new trainer. Because they'll hook you up. They've got a lot invested in you. They've got $10,000, invested in you. Plus, you're out there. They want to make sure that you succeed, because they want to put you in the truck and make more money off of you. But I'd like to know, has anybody else out there had any kind of experience like that with their trainer? Something nasty, or just... I mean, I thought maybe I was a one out, because I've heard good stories about good trainers and stuff like that, and I just didn't have one. So let me know down in the comments if you've had any kind of experience like that. It'd be interesting to hear y'all's stories. Well, that's it for now. I know that's not that much longer. About a 10 minute story. But I've got some more stories if you like to hear stuff like that. Just let me know what kind of, if you like hearing some of my personal stories, because I've got a few personal stories that I'll tell about out here on the road, and along the side of news. Just let me know what you'd like to hear, and we'll talk to you later.